Hey guys, what's going on? Going to talk about the latest CatalystX trade from Timothy Sykes. So before I get started on that though, just want to give you a heads up on a couple of things like usual. So the first one is we're running this super spread sale, so Monday super spreads at theatraders.com. We're running this $97 per year sale until July 4th, so we're going to cut it off then. We've already had dozens of people signing up for this, and they're already starting to get some really good trades. I'll show you yesterday's trades. So this is basically a credit spread that comes out every Monday, and it's posted in a Discord. And you do have plenty of time to usually get in, and we had a few hours where it stayed pretty much the same or even went down to get a better entry than Lance did. Actually, got a better entry than Lance, who alerted this, did on it. I'll leave a link in the description so you can come and just join up for this. Honestly, it's one of the best, easiest, most passive ways to make money online that I've found. And I'll show you my brokerage account really quick. So this is the tasty trade right here. And so you can see this bottom one, it's a Google credit spread. So we bought the 160s 45 days out, and we sold the 165s, and we're already up 23% overnight on this one. And this is the first one ever, and now 25%, we just ticked over to 25% of the premium collected. So in this case, it's not going to be very much because this is the first one that I'm kind of testing out to show people. But I'm going to scale into these and take much larger positions going forward because these are fantastic. Typical hold time is about 10 days apparently. You can see they expire within 45 days. So it's unlikely we'll hold them quite that long though. But yeah, so this is the first one. We're going to have one every Monday, and they're one of the easiest ones to get into and out of because usually there's plenty of time to get in basically. So check it out. Make sure if you join that, you do it before July 4th though, because although we like having lots of people in the service, these things tend to open it up to a lot of people that take up a lot of time and resources and energy to make sure they're properly serviced. And so yeah, if you don't want to do that, you don't want to pay anything, there's this free course that we do, learn how to win 90% of your trades in 90 seconds. So definitely check that out. There'll be a link in the description below. It covers things like credit spreads and selling cash secured puts and all that good stuff. Really nice ways to make some money trading without worrying too much. So yeah, so anyway, let's talk about Timothy Sykes. So Timothy Sykes runs this program. If you haven't seen it yet, it's called CatalystX Alerts. It's inside the Timothy Sykes newsletter. So the weird thing is they don't actually tell you that. But if you go to the link in the description below, it's $49. You get the whole of Timothy Sykes newsletter. This tells you what else is included. I've put reviews from previous trades in here. Almost every single CatalystX trade works out. There are a few nuances though. The first one being that when you go to the website, so if you go to this page here, and you scroll down and you click on the purchase Tim Sykes newsletter for $49, it doesn't actually tell you that CatalystX is included, but it is, and that's the secret part. You also have a money back guarantee on it as well, so it's kind of cool. But there's a secret loophole. This is what I'm talking about. To get the CatalystX alerts from Tim Sykes is that you can basically do it through the newsletter, this $49 a year newsletter. So definitely check this page out. I've put lots of trades on here. I talk about who Tim Sykes is and all this good stuff. So definitely check this page out. Again, it'll be one of the top links in the description below to find more details on this. Basically, Tim Sykes is alerting small cap stocks, and so this is the login to Timothy Sykes. He's basically anything from 50 cents to, I think I've seen one that was $18 per share. He's just buying the actual shares, usually after hours, so just at the market open or pre-market, or just after market closes. Usually on catalysts like earnings reports, etc. So the latest one he did was this one. It was RDZN. Now he did mess this up. So normally like these things are pretty good and they're easy to get into and stuff, but he messed this one up quite badly. He put the wrong ticker, so he put RDZB instead of RDZN. So there's a couple of things I want to point out. One person's pointing out that the SMS isn't working that well, but you can just set up like Gmail push notifications to your phone or to your desktop, so you can be alerted as soon as he enters. That way you can get in really quickly even without having an SMS come through. I've never tried the SMS. Some people use it, some people don't, but apparently it's kind of flaky, so that's definitely one downside. But what can you really expect for $49, right? For a whole year of these alerts, and there's several a week. You just have to be ready for them, and that's where you have to decide for yourself whether this is a service that you're excited about joining, because if you're not ready to go when these come out, you're going to miss them. There's usually a minute or two. You can get a similar price or better than Tim's price, but often these things will move really fast. Like this one moved really fast. This was a messed up alert, to be honest, but I'm going to show you it anyway because I'm trying to show every alert that comes out just for like transparency, right? So I'm going to show the losses or the bad alerts as well as the good ones. So the last one was a really good one, 40% winner. This one only went up a few percent, but it continued up. So Tim Sykes messed this up in many ways. First, he messed up the alert, so he did the typo, so he basically couldn't get in to the right ticker quickly enough. And then he also just messed up the entry and exit, in my opinion, and I think he admits that too in here. So this was the particular ticker. It was actually after hours for once. So you see this is after hours. I'm in Central Time, so it's the market closes at 3 here. This is a 1 minute chart, so you can see what happened. Basically, this thing shot up quickly, and he got an entry around here, and then he sold for just a tiny profit, like on this candle, one of these two candles, very, very soon afterwards. So this is like 10, 15 minutes later, so roughly 15, 20 to, yeah, so 10 minutes. Now, normally the trades last that long, and you can see this one had a lot of promise, and it's actually spiked up and hit almost 290 at one point. That would have been a nice win, but he held it just a bit too long and let it drop back down and decided to exit. However, this thing did continue, which is kind of cool. You can see it actually formed a nice breakout. Higher highs and higher lows going up. So if you didn't actually exit when he did, you'd have done better than him. So not all, like, he's not always the absolute like best at exiting. He actually usually exits too early, but that's to stop losses because he cuts his losses really, really fast and he doesn't like giving back gains, which is why he probably, after seeing these wicks, he probably decided to sell here, even though it was just a small gain in the stock price. It's worth pointing out though that these things can move. Like this thing went from 170 to 290, which is like 80% profit, right? Like on these things. So you don't need to play options on them, which is really nice because that means you can then do things pre-market and after hours, which you can't do with options. So it makes that time period something that opens it up for you, but still allows you to get those big gains that options gives you. And so I really like it for that because not many people are playing small cap stocks anymore. They're all playing options. But Timothy Sykes is sticking with his foundation, which is really in these types of plays, catalyst driven, fast moving plays. And there's pros and cons to that, right? One pro is it's fast moving, so you're only in a trade for 10 minutes, then you're done and dusted. The bad thing is you have to be quite on the ball. You have to be able to get in on these trades quickly and get out of them quickly as well. And there's typically 2 a week, I'd say, on average. So it's for the price, for $49 for a year, this is an insanely good service. But not only that, with the Tim Sykes newsletter, you get a whole bunch of other stuff. So if you go to this page that I keep showing you, my review page, I talk about it all down here, but let's just check it out together. So you click on the link to take you to this thing here. So you can do a quick thing where you go up to the top here and it allows you to see the offer without having to watch the webinar. If you're one of those people that don't like to watch long webinars, you can skip all that by doing that, right? So you get to here. And you can see everything you get. So you get a whole bunch of stuff with this. It doesn't even mention CatalystX, and that's what I keep stressing to people, is it doesn't mention CatalystX alerts in here. That's like a bonus that they've kind of left in there. And you would buy this, you have a 30-day test drive. You get lots of different information from Tim Bohin, and you can read through it and see what you get. But the cool thing is it's like the secret loophole to get CatalystX alerts without it being mentioned in the order page, which is crazy. And I've told them they need to add it back in because people would buy it just for CatalystX. So just trust me, it's actually in there. And you get a whole bunch of other things that you might want to check out too. So I'm going to leave a link in the description below to take you to the direct page here if I can, and then you can check that out as well. But yeah, so it's funny because today's alert did work out, but Tim Sykes kind of messed up. Maybe he was tired, I don't know. But he messed up on the actual ticker symbol, and also like he didn't play it optimally either. This would have been too fast to scalp though, so I can understand as it starts to sell off, he probably just want to preserve those gains. And unfortunately, it was just a mediocre winner. It went to 310, so it went all the way from 243 when he was into 310, and he said this would have been a good play, but he says, phew, I need to get more aggressive. So I've noticed he has been a little bit timid, no pun intended, but kind of came out that way. He's been timid because he seems to be just taking profits really fast, and they often go quite a bit higher. So if you're playing these, make sure that you maybe use a chart, some of your own charting with it, like Algo Pro or one of these other things that people are using, because you might be able to get a better exit than Timothy Sykes gets on these. Okay, hopefully that's helpful, and make sure you check out the links in the description below. Make sure you come and get the Monday super spreads if you're interested in the exact opposite style of trading that I was just talking about. So if you're looking for slower, more mechanical, chilled out trades, this is probably what you want to try out rather than Tim's stuff. Alright, hopefully that's helpful. I'll talk to you guys soon.